All right. Hey, what's up, you guys? I've been trying to do this video for a little while, right? Not really trying to do it, but just thinking about doing it for a while now. I wanted to just continue the study in the Tom Fox Form and Pose book. It's right here. I got a new setup. So that's something that's also been sort of like stifling me from getting back to this book. It's just I've got a new setup, and I got I started just looking into other artists that I like. But I'm coming back to this Tom Fox book because I think it has some really good information in it. Even it has information that you can even carry into other books, and sort of even if you don't adopt everything that Tom Fox is trying to tell you to do when it comes to construction, you can, you always can look at this book like something to influence even what you're doing, or just key things to think about even when you're thinking of other methods or studying other art, right? So today I just wanted to sort of draw that mannequin head a little bit of a more detailed one. I want to draw in three different angles, and this is a thing that is new, that a new development in the art process is that I bought the Tom Fox Draws Domestica class, right? And in that class is like a hour and 45 minutes worth of videos, and the way that he sort of works through things really informed me about how I should use this book, because before I would just go straight in with pen and think that I'm just supposed to just go straight do studying all pen just because that's sort of like the style that's in the book. But in the Domestica class, he's sketching with pencil. He's like he's sort of putting the mannequin in and then putting details on top, and he's sort of like blocking things in with simple mannequins, simple guys like this, right? This is if you get the Domestica class, you've seen him draw this on the perspective grid. So he really simplifies it. And even in the Domestica class, he doesn't even go all the way into the anatomy. He sort of just gives some hamstring, like leg anatomy. He gives you pectorals and like the deltoids. That's really it. And I think he gives one more muscle, but he like groups them. But in this book, he really breaks it down. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you just have to pace yourself all the time. You don't want to, especially when you're studying, you don't want to just go straight into the complexity. Sometimes you want to grab a book like, I got this Morpho book. This isn't like necessarily a simple book, but it's a book where there's just a bunch of drawings, and you're copying, you're trying to mimic the drawings to sort of, to sort of memorize them. So when you go back and you're trying to invent, you can sort of, from copying these drawings, to tedium, repetition, you'll be able to somewhat, you'll be able to guess after all the repetition. But the thing about it with the Tom Fox book is like, he's sort of giving you a rule book on not only the anatomy shape, but what it does, and how it works. So it's sort of like, or what happens when something twists and turns and things like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't rack your brain trying to do all this complex stuff off the jump, because you can really be looking at a different book and be developing, and then come back to this book and it'll sort of there will still be an equal development. So today I just wanted to draw heads, three different angles, right? So I wanted to draw a head. So this is the thing about it. This line right here is the horizon line. So I'm going to just pick some random vanishing points. That's for the bottom. I'm going to pick one right here. Let me come down here. Then I'm gonna pick one coming up this way. You know, just random. I'm trying to draw on the head. Try to draw on the head and some of the neck. I might just draw a box for the torso, right? So this is what I'm gonna do, right? So since I got these are sort of like lines I'm gonna start off with, because since the head is still at this stage here, you know, it's still very straight and very angular, still almost box-like. So what I'm gonna do is, depending on, I think I want this to be the side plane of the box, right? So I'm gonna do it like this. And this is gonna come out here, you know? And then I'm gonna pick a vanishing point this way, right? Pick a vanishing point. A lot of these heads are in this book are drawn in sort of, you know, that 2-point perspective. So I'm gonna draw right here. I don't know if that's gonna be the head or the torso, right? Then I'm gonna draw another right here. This is probably just gonna be a little bit more straight on, right? Then there's gonna be a vanishing point down here. Sort of like a 3-point perspective. Then I'm gonna get another one going up here, right? So I'm gonna vanishing point right there. So this is what we're gonna do. Let me see, go up here. Then I'm gonna, then it's gonna come down. Let me see. I don't know if that's too wide. I don't know if I like that. It's gonna come up this way. This is gonna be the third one, just in case I need a, you know, I probably do need another point, right? Coming up here. This is gonna be coming up here. So this is a very strange shape right here. I don't think I've ever drawn anything like this. Right? But you know, I just wanted to sort of create some random funky shapes. So then I'm going to, now that I got those boxes in, now I can sort of work how he works from that book, from these boxes. Right? So I know he chops off that third of the head. Well, he chops that fourth out right there. The back of the head is going to curve up here. Right, we have a plane going this way into the front plane of the head. So it's not going to go all the way down to that line. It's going to actually curve over. Maybe go down a little bit more, right? Then it's gonna, the front of the head is narrowed, so we're gonna get something like this. Then we're gonna, he's putting a point at the top, you know, boom. And this is, come up, maybe the back should have been a little straighter. Should have been straight, and then curve should have happened at a different spot, right? Boom. So, and then, you know, the mandible at the bottom can sort of be drawn on top of everything, because it's just following the perspective. Right? This comes in a little bit more, mandible jutting out. But this is even when you're thinking of that more, even when you're thinking of slicing the face down, right? It's all based on never forget that basic cue that you start with. Even if, you know, you do make a mistake, you know, never forget that basic cube that you start with, because it's going to be the key that unlocks everything for you, right? Over a little bit more. That's going to be the key that unlocks everything. So even if I was to draw, you know, the torso, I'm gonna just try to draw a little neck here. and just draw a box torso. All of it is coming from the same vanishing point, right? And just sort of draw it in really quickly. I haven't even gotten to the torso portion of the book yet, but this is how I can imagine that the head, if you're trying to figure out how the head goes in perspective, maybe you're going to be trying to find out how the torso also goes into perspective. I'm going to just draw like a, draw a little thinner. And put some form lines on here, sort of illustrate the form. Because this is another big thing in this book, is just trying to find the form in all of these things. But this is like a sort of method that I would definitely recommend when you're practicing, is to get a light sketching with a pencil. And then you can get all the sharp edges and everything. Even if you wanted to take it to a higher level of detail with a pencil, I like this red pencil because the ink could just go right on top. But even when I was looking at his Domestica class, it was him sketching with a pencil and then, going back over. So don't be afraid to hit the paper with a pencil first, figure out the perspective, and then on top, get that ink in. All right, so don't be afraid of that. All because you see Tom Fox draws, a lot of times he'll just go straight in with a pen. Work your way up. Don't think that you're supposed to be like him, right off the jump. So then we're gonna do this head, right? Don't try to be like him right off the jump. You're gonna get there. You gotta pace yourself. All right, so I'm gonna just put one. I know that there's supposed to be two planes there. I'm gonna just put one just because that's what I'm more comfortable with doing right now. Then we're gonna go back into space. And we're gonna sort of chop it off a little prematurely, just to get that down slope in the back, right? But this is how it would look from like, a more, like downward perspective angle. So then we're just gonna try to, put some form lines on here just so just so you can understand the form. Then I'm gonna put in a torso also. It'll probably be pretty easy to just put in a simple torso like this, right? And then I got a point at the bottom just to sort of control that foreshortening. Yeah, especially when you're dealing with trying to draw figures in perspective and trying to draw these basic shapes, these basic like figurative shapes. You're gonna want to just be, just try to keep yourself aware of the vanishing points. Because if you have control over these vanishing points, that is essentially the only thing you really need to have control of in this book, is those vanishing points. Just figuring out where are my lines going? Where are they leading to? On what part of the page are my lines leading to? Especially if you're drawing a face, usually you want all the lines of the face all the features of the face to line up. If you're drawing a torso, you want all the aspects, all the muscles of the torso to line up to you want them to be, if they were to be standing straight up, you want them to be symmetrical. But if they were turning to the left, you want all of them to be facing the left. To the right, all of them facing the right. So that's the major purpose of doing something like this. So this one is going to be a tricky one. I'm trying to do my best. So I know that I want to chop this off, right? I want to chop this off. I think I want to show a little bit, and I should have chop these sides off. I forgot about it, but yeah. So we're gonna go here. This is gonna be straight up and down, like that. And then this side is going down, and it's getting chopped off in the back, right? Even if it's a strange shape like this, I'm gonna take the head down a little bit, because I don't want it to be that short. And this would be a perfect moment to show that the underside of the face, right? So show this mandible here, 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 matching those lines. This would probably go straighter, going under like this, under this way, right? Then eventually I want to put that neck in, so I'm going to draw those hyoid bones right here. The hyoid bone will go like right under the neck. And if I draw this terribly, just give me some grace, because I'm sort of new to this, you know, like everyone is sort of new to this. I'm going to make round the neck out like this, right? Crazy looking, but yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how something like this would look from the underside. So this would be sort of like the tube, and then a lot of these lines that he puts on. This is the mandible, so and then I'm gonna just bring it back like that. I'm not even gonna just do it like this. This is sort of illustrate that other part of the neck, right? And then I would draw the torso leading from one of these lines, but I feel like I'm gonna just leave it like that, right? So don't get too hung up on, I see Tom Fox draws. I see him drawing only with pen in like his Instagram videos and things like that. So that means that's what I'm supposed to do. Start out something like this. I'm gonna draw one more. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm gonna do sort of like a more. I should do it above, since the other one came out funny looking, right? So this is where I would figure out the perspective of the box that I'm trying to draw, right? And then the other one would go over here a little farther, just to make it more natural, get that perspective, like that. And then I'm looking at the book, but I'm not, obviously I'm not copying necessarily an exact illustration from the book. In perspective, I know how a cube looks, and I'm just thinking about the variables that he's creating, I'm just trying to think about the variables that he's creating in the book. So I'm looking at the book just to see the variables that he's created, right? So I'm going here, head narrows at the jaw, right? So I'm going here, on there. It looks a little slanted, but that's fine. No, I'm not trying to get everything perfectly. I'm just trying to, understand what's going on. So I'm going straight down here, and then the jaw is like met in the half of that plane, half the face. So then we're going this way, matching it up, curves in a little though. Then I'm taking the bottom of the mandible to the vanishing points, right? To the vanishing points. This one is gonna be slightly different because it's curving in. So, it's sort of like I'm coming this way This is sort of meeting in the middle. Then I'm also for the underside, right, of that chin, I'm matching it with the vanishing point, so it looks, natural. Looks like a natural sort of jaw shape. Then I'm coming under and mimicking these lines for that mandible. Then I'm going to come down and just sort of draw a simplified, neck shape like that. And I know the bottom, I'm going to be seeing the bottom of it. So it's bringing it back to this vanishing point. Just always keeping that in mind, that everything is coming back to a vanishing point. Then I'm bringing the underside of the back of the skull, the occipital. Then I'm bringing this neck down, straight down, just to simplify it, Then I'm just drawing wrapping lines, just so, just to get a, understanding just of the surface area. Shoot, that's a little off. Surface of the shape that I'm drawing. I'm not even thinking of it necessarily as a face. I'm thinking of it as a shape and perspective, right? So then this line will go to the line that he usually draws under is usually the line, it'll match one vanishing point and then match the other. So you know which direction it's going in. So if you chop, if you're chopping chopping a shape and you're trying to figure out why that baseline that he has at the bottom looks like that, he's matching these lines to the vanishing points. That's that line. This like plus sign is sort of showing you the directions of the vanishing points that he's created. So if you look at any of the illustrations in this book, and you see something like this, you see how this so he's drawn it kind of loosely, but if you can tell that the head is facing this way, so all the lines are emerging, all the lines are coming out, are sort of emerging in this sort of direction. You see the back of the head, the top of the line for like the temple area, and then every line, this line that's going this way is indicating the top of the forehead, the bottom of the jaw, the top of I forgot what that bone is called, under the jaw. It's like a smaller jaw bone. I just said it. But then also the line that orientates the sort of like the temple, the Apple's Adam area, So just keep all that kind of stuff in mind. Even when he's drawing the plus sign on the face, it's like a symbol signifying the direction that the perspective is going in. So just always keep that in mind. But I think I'm gonna end this video now because it's already 23 minutes. I feel like I've done a okay video today. Just sort of brushing up on this book because I was sort of, dipping in and out. But yeah, I think I might get back on this book. But I hope you guys stay tuned because I do intend to go through this entire book with, studying, learning from this book, becoming a better artist. Yeah, so I'll see you next time in the next study. Peace.